Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
My bite's not more than my bark buddies. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement. And if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
I'm gonna This right here, baby, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't be seeing it. But baby, playing victim in a situation that you created, oh yeah, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. Hello, somebody, how you gonna create the storm, then get mad when it rain? How you hurt somebody and then get mad that they hurt? How you damage somebody, go outside your way to destroy a person and then get mad when they no longer want to deal with you? Baby, playing a victim in a situation that you created, oh baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
What is up, my beautiful people of YouTube and Twitter? Good morning. Good morning. Happy hump day, baby. Happy hump day as we slide into our beautiful weekend. Hopefully everybody's freezing right now because Florida's still hot. So it's cooler. So if it's cooler in Florida, it must be freezing everywhere else. I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't even looked at the weather. I don't even think in a year. What is the weather in your area? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Good morning. Oh, Lady O, it's nice to see you. The first this morning to tell the Bullhorn Betty channel, the Coffee Club, and all of our wonderful, beautiful mods. Good morning. Well, good morning to you. Oh, Lady O. Nice to see you. The real me too. Sheila, Gigi for life, Sonia. We were all just sitting here chit-chatting. Good morning, big boy. Good morning, the helpless, hopeless sugar daddy. Good morning. Good morning. Jules, good morning. It's nice to see you here. I'm spitting all over myself this morning, so it must be a great morning. Michelle, good morning. Good morning. I see MJ in the house. Miss Potty Mouth. We are raising money for Layla Santinello's family right now. Through horrible words. Why do we decide to do, can I pull it back? There we go. Why do we decide to do a swear jar? Because we know YouTube is not shy with their language. So if you're cussing today, you owe the swear jar, okay? You guys can cuss all day long in the chat, but pony it up. Let's see what we got here. What's our charges here? So HE double hockey sticks is $2. The dam that busted is $3. The old it tank is $5. The old fudge is $10. And the whole GD, we are a Christian channel. If you have stubbed your toe and it slipped out, you owe Jen Santinello a whopping $15. A whopping $15. We don't like the GD word around here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Good morning. Nice to see you. We got Sweetie Pie in the house. We got November Rain. Good morning, ladies. Nice to see you. Tree Baby Tennessee. Good morning, love. Nice to see you as well. We got Second Thesis in the house. Good morning. Who else do we have? Jules. Nice to see you. Big hugs and kisses. Low 50s here and raining. Auburn is 35 degrees. I knew you guys were cold around here. I told you. If it's cool, okay, now Florida is still hot. But if it's cool in Florida, it is freezing everywhere else. A warm 38 in the Midwest. If I was in in the Midwest, big boy, I would be in an Eskimo outfit at 38 degrees. Sonia was telling me the other day when we were talking about going to Tennessee, she's like, it's 27 degrees here. She's like, it's just light jacket weather. I remember going to Moscow, Idaho in 27 degree weather. Remember the time that I was on there and I said, I've got to go sit down. I feel like my toes and my fingers are going to shatter. They're so frozen. Remember that? Yeah, that was 27 degrees in Idaho. So Sonia's trying to freeze Betty. She's trying to freeze Betty. I mean, I get that we need to keep me around, you know, a little bit longer and stuff. But really, do you want me an icicle? Oh, good for the skin, right? Probably good for the skin. I don't know. Good morning, Tony. It's nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. So I think I got through, everybody. If I missed you this morning or you're coming in late, a big happy good morning. Happy hump day. Enjoy as you get to relax a little bit more, right? Monday's manic. Tuesday's like recovery from manic. And Wednesday, it's kind of like, okay, I got this, right? And we're getting close to the week. You're getting a little looser. We're working a little bit better. We're awake at work, you know. So enjoy. Yeah, I need them car. I tell you what, I can't do it. Mama Bear says it is 50 in Texas, high of 73. Hopefully you guys don't have a whole lot of moisture, because I tell you what, that event I went to in Hialeah, they told us the weather was 84 degrees. Okay, 84. It seems cool for Florida, especially when we're standing out in 98 and 100 degree weather. That was the hottest darn 84 degrees I have ever felt in my life. I'm still burnt. Like, it's 84 degrees out there. This is the first time. I never get nauseous, right? And sun doesn't bother me. I am out protesting. I'm out searching. I'm usually subjected and subject my body to extreme heat, extreme lack of water. You know, I'm used to those things because it's what I do. But whatever happened, this particular one, I was literally nauseous. I got sick. I didn't throw up or anything like that. I started drinking a lot of water and stuff. But for the first time at any rally I had ever been to, I was physically sick. And that was an 84 degree weather. So it's, you know, I don't know. Hopefully it's not too hot there. I heard that the dry air in Texas is sometimes dangerous, because you don't realize how extremely hot it is. I don't know how true that is. I don't live in Texas. I live in Florida, and I die 90% of the time here, right? So today I'm going to be doing something a little different with the chat. We haven't done like an open panel type of discussion on this case in a while. The Bryan Kohberger, the Idaho 4, Moscow murders, whatever you want to call this particular case. We haven't really had an open panel discussion on it in quite some time. We went through, you know, the probable cause affidavit. We were going through it again yesterday. A lot of the information we do know, but there's some things that we're not paying attention to or we forgot about. And it's in that probable cause affidavit. For those that don't know about the Idaho 4 or the Moscow, Idaho, good morning, Obsessed. It's nice to see you, love. I'm just going to give you the Reader's Digest version of this case. So we have 4 beautiful souls that went to the University of Idaho. They lived in an off-campus housing just literally on the outskirts of campus, They were like one street over from campus. And on the early morning hours of November 13th, somebody went into their home and murdered 4 of the 6 people staying at that home. Ethan Chapin did not live there. He lived over at the Sigma Chi fraternity, just literally across the street on campus. And they were across the street off campus, but he dated Xana Kernodle. So he was staying the night with his girlfriend. And although Kaylee no longer really resided at that house, she still was a tenant. She still had a room there. And she was going to visit. She had already graduated. She was getting ready she had already accepted a new job. She was getting ready this was kind of her, you know, her real fun time. This was the epic the epic weekend, right? Before you go off to start your life. That's really where Kaylee was at this moment. She had just went home. She graduated. She got her car. She got her job. And she just wanted to go and enjoy her time before she went to Texas? Before she went to Texas, she wanted to spend her time with her best friend and go out and just have the time of their life. And that's what they did. They enjoyed it. And then they came home after having an amazing time, seeing all their friends around campus that they were able to see. You know, Kaylee and Jack were kind of on again, off again at this moment. So she was really enjoying the little bits of time that she ran into him, say like at the corner club. And then we hear that 4 bodies. Well, we first hear that there's a 911 call of an unconscious person. And this is what a lot of people still are held up on. The whole unconscious person, I understand now in my mind. I understand why it was reported as an unconscious person. I understand why it wasn't reported as a murder or as a stabbing or anything like that. It's because even if you call 911 and say somebody is dead and somebody was shot and killed, or somebody is unalived or something like that, they will call it in, from my understanding, as an unconscious person, because death is a medical term. It is a medical diagnosis, and nobody has the authority to make that other than a EMT or other medical professional. That is my understanding. So it is possible that 911, somebody called that 911 in and said, "Oh my God, we have 4 murdered people." And the call would have still went out as an unconscious individual, if that makes sense. That's how I understood it. That's how it was told to me, and explained to me why. Well, Stacy, you're a month late. But we did just start, making sure that we recognize all of our beautiful members that have birthdays, right? And you get serenaded by Bullhorn Betty, right? La 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 la. Okay. Well, Stacy, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Stacy. Happy BH birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy BHB birthday to Stacy. Happy birthday to you. I think I still got it. I think I still have it. I don't know, though. I don't know. You guys let me know. Do I have it or do I not have it? Thank you, Stacy, for being a beautiful coffee club member, which brings me to the next thing, right? We'll get back to this Bryan Kohberger stuff, but we're going to be changing our names. We've already got big boy. Thank you. Well, thank you. We've already agreed to change our names on our membership level. I was going to do like a ribbon cutting today with our new names and stuff, but I'm going to need your help again because I just don't want to put Americana there, right? So what are we going to do? Are we going to make it like the Americana squad? Are we going to be the team? Are we going to be should we just do Americana and leave it at that? Because I'm just trying to see how, like, the flow of the membership levels, the flow of it. So Terry, if you're listening and you have some suggestions, you are the winner. So I'd like to hear your suggestions first. If we're just going to do Americana and stuff, then perfect. That's what we'll do. We'll put that in there, and we won't even have like team or, group or I don't know. I just wanted to, I vote braids. Oh, big boy. One more week till my 12th. Oh, nice. And you're going to be getting me to sing for you too, aren't you? I think everybody's now going to be running out to get their membership just to hear me sing. You guys crack me up. I got to say, you know what? You guys make my day as much as I make yours. I have to be honest with you. You do. All right. Let's get back to work. Quit sidetracking me. Quit sidetracking me. So we get up to that, and so that kind of explains the whole unconscious person, at least in my mind. That's how it was explained to me. It makes sense. I don't know if that's the case with this one. We don't know. They never even released the 911 call. Remember, the captain told us that he was considering releasing the 911 call. That's usually one of the first things that we as the public usually get to hear to kind of give us an idea of what happened. And they have still withheld that in this case from the public. And, I really do. I'm very thankful for the Moscow Police Department. I really am. Let's be honest here. Just looking at this from, a person just standing in the back and looking in, I have to say, when you hear of the Moscow Police Department and you realize how small their community is and how small their police department must be compared to probably many of our police departments in our own community. I mean, here in Manatee County, we've got substations. We got several substations. I mean, we're pretty big. And then you've got, this small community of Moscow, which doesn't even really have a whole lot of actual residents that live there full time. A lot of this stuff is in this community is sponsored and purchased and paid for by the students of these universities. These Moscow community would be a speck on the wall and a very desolate type of, poorer area had it not been for this university. But with that being said, you would kind of expect them not small town law enforcement, right? I mean, that's kind of, when you deal with these university communities, we're looking at these university communities like, okay, the police usually cater or have to deal with alcohol-related crimes. We've seen that all over the place, right? The alcohol-related crimes literally all over the place out there. We had law enforcement stopping them. We have the one video of even Ethan driving his friend home, and he's being stopped by the car. Didn't have a license, but the officer knew he wasn't intoxicated and knew he was just trying to get his friend home safely and allowed him to proceed. So, we're looking at law enforcement, or we're seeing them in this university, and we're thinking, okay, these people don't have what it takes to solve a crime. Not this type of crime. Right? Not this type of crime. They can deal with, fights, alcohol-related stuff, even the occasional drug issue, right? We believe that law enforcement on these campuses, but I have to say, the Moscow Police Department in this small community really has provided us a little insight and a little more respect for those small community law enforcement agencies, because you know what? They had a case that was for a very difficult and complex case for such a small community. And these law enforcement officers knew these kids because, again, they're a small outfit. They had already been to the house several times. Corporal Brett Payne, the investigator on this case, has written those girls probably a citation or two or a warning. He knew them personally. And I really, truly believe because Brett Payne knew those girls personally, I think he didn't just give it 100%. I think he went in there giving 1,000%. I truly do. And I know that they came under heavy fire. I know even myself, I backed the blue. And in this case, I came out and said, look, this law enforcement, I've seen crappy law enforcement investigations. I've seen horrible criminal investigations. And they still made an arrest. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Just because you have a horrible criminal investigation and an absolute crap, you can still get it to the finish line. But I've seen some really bad policing. In even prior to me being here in true crime, you guys know I'm political. I've been around the block a time or two. I've been in a lot of political quagmires myself. I've watched a lot of political quagmires, and I have to say that this was done very, very well. They stayed focused. They stayed driven. They drowned out the noise. And they kept going. And that right there is a good outfit, a good law enforcement outfit. And I caution my audience because we knew that law enforcement's not going to be giving us all the information we need and that we are coming in blind. That's one of the reasons why we went out there, is because I wasn't going to be handicapped or blind on a case like this. I needed to be out there. We went out there, we got what we needed to get, and we came home. But did we? No, we didn't accomplish everything that we wanted to accomplish. So last night, I've been kind of going through this entire case. I've been looking at it. I do. I have to agree with you. I do believe that they did an amazing job. Even when we were, I understand Steve and Christy, even at the time of the interview, they were scared. When we gave them that interview, they didn't even know who was responsible. Nobody did. They just knew that the people that everybody was saying didn't do it. Kind of similar to us. We didn't know who did it. We just knew that it wasn't the kids that they were hanging out with. It just didn't seem like something. I mean, you have to be a particular type of person to commit the acts that went on in that house. This is not something that I want to say a surfboard dude smoking a J is going to do. You know what I'm saying? This is not these kids. This is something totally different. And even myself, you wonder, did somebody just snap? Look at Derek Rosa, right? Derek Rosa and Hialeah, I just did that video on him. Good kid. Making amazing grades. From everything that we're learning about, like Derek Rosa and his case, they're not even, he had no red flags. Nobody was expecting this from him. He was a good kid. He wasn't being picked on from what I'm gathering. There was just something that snapped in that boy, and he killed his mother brutally. So, we do understand that people snap, but again, it was hard for me to look at these kids that were out being goofballs. they're ding dong, right? They're doing stupid stuff. They're doing stupid stuff with their whoever's in their acting classes or whatever it's called there, dressing up and doing plays and stuff like that. They're just ding dongs, right? They just do stupid stuff. What? Yeah, lots of commercials. Is there lots of commercials in here right now? There should not be any commercials in here. There should not be any commercials on my live right now. Hold on a second. Is that what you're talking about? Is there? Okay. Yes. Okay, hold on a second. Because when they do this, they tell me, hold on, it does automatically. I'm looking at the back of my saying, here we go. And it's only going to pause it for 10 minutes. I don't know how to turn this off. What in the ever loving? Hold on a second. They made some modifications back here. And so I do my mid for every 18 minutes, but it shouldn't be doing that in here. It should be doing that after this show ends. All right. Well, let me just go ahead and I'll place them. There we go. Hopefully this pauses it. I don't know. Unless it's just automatically doing that now when I'm live. That did it. I think I got it. All right. Thanks for letting me know, because I think people were telling me that it was happening, but I didn't know how to control it because they've made so many different settings on the back side of this thing. And when this closes down, I don't like going back and having to set up my ads. So I just have it automatically done, but it was supposed to be after it ends. At least that's the way I read it, but I guess not. Anyways, we got it fixed. No big deal. Jules, what does it say? Yes, Miss Betty, I've been getting a few in the past couple of days, but they don't last that long. Okay, well, either way, I'll just manually do it. I don't mind throwing an ad up in here like once or twice in a 2-hour period, maybe 3 times, but I don't like them. I don't like, that's it. I don't like it because you guys here live. The people on the replay crew, sorry, you should have been here live, right? That's the beauty of it, right? You're supposed to come here live and be able to watch your show with very limited commercials. But if you're on the replay crew, if you can't get your butt up at 6:30 in the morning, it ain't my problem. It ain't my problem, Bob. It ain't my problem, Bob. Right? You're on your own then. You're on your own then. All right, guys. Thank you. It was like every oh yeah, thank you, Bean Feathers. No, we got it fixed. Like I said, I don't, unless you tell me this stuff, when they make changes behind the scenes and I'm setting this stuff up and trying to figure out what's what now, things like this happen. So if you guys don't tell me that that this is affecting you, I literally don't know, because it does not show me anything behind the screen. I don't know when those ads hit. I literally know nothing. I'm one of those set it and forget it type of people. I'm a slob and I'm lazy. What can I say? Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty S show, right? All right, guys, you guys have been fun. I have to be honest with you. Today has been pretty fun. So let's get back to work. What's more important, coffee club or sleep? Now, sweetie pie, if I knew the answer to that, I probably wouldn't be this crazy. I wake up tired, get jacked up on coffee, and still stay tired, just jacked up on coffee. What? Oh, golly. What is it? I updated YouTube, and it's still been broken for me. But see, this is the thing. It's like, and even behind the scenes, I don't really read all the stuff that they send out, because I've got, one account that's this, and then I've got my Bullhorn Betty Gmail account. So all of my communications are over on Bullhorn. So I don't even really pay attention to the account that this channel is really set up on. So when I get notifications, I really don't get notifications because I don't see them. Thank you, November Rain. Yes, I've got some. I can't have coffee until 8:45. I have blood work. Oh no, I hate that. Help. I hate that. Has anyone heard the interview with Maddie's father? It wasn't it the one with Ben Mogan, or was it her stepdad? I heard it and I knew it, but that wasn't really the stuff. But I will go ahead and use this creme. Okay, here it is. Let's just pull this up. We'll take a break and just watch.
Some describe them as close as sisters. She was a senior, a marketing major, and a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority. She loved the color pink and planned to move to Boise after she graduated to be closer to her boyfriend. Her father described her as the light of his life.
She was the best child I could have asked for, and
That's her biological father, Ben.
Unimaginable grief still feels as fresh as it did 1 year ago on this day. Ben Mogan thinks about his daughter, Maddie, every single day. In his first interview since his daughter's memorial, Ben Mogan tells me how he finds ways to remember his little angel.
This is the tattoo that I got to remember Maddie.
Maddie Mogan,
She is my little angel.
has always been her dad's angel.
Having her in my life got me through a lot of dark moments.
Maddie is Ben's light, his reason to live.
Well, I wouldn't be here without her.
Here, living his life, but also here
And hot, not iced, please.
at this Coeur d'Alene Starbucks.
The last time that we ever went somewhere together, it was here. There used to be a table right over here, and that's the one that we sat at. Yeah, every time I even drive by here, I think about just how much I wish she was here with us.
Now Maddie's presence is what keeps Ben going.
She was the best child I could have asked for, and we miss her so much.
How are you doing 1 year after?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We've spent a lot of time, together and thinking about Maddie and just trying to live our best lives that she would want us to live,
So I'm going to leave that there. Here's this. If you'd like to watch the entire interview, I'm putting it down. Oops, hold on. Putting it down here. There you go. That's the entire interview for Ben Mogan. I've got to be honest with you. It's so sad to see this because, and I'm when it comes to Ben, you can see that he's struggled. He's had problems. And a lot of people don't realize, even like Xana's mom, everybody was beating her up. It's hard. It's hard to lose a child, especially when you've maybe not have been the best parent in the world. You almost beat yourself up like 10 times worse, in my opinion. You beat yourself up so much worse when you haven't been there. Can you imagine Xana's mom right now, how she must feel? She didn't know where she was. She didn't know what room she's in. She doesn't even know what kind of car she's driving now. Like, if you can't feel for that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I was angry with Xana's mom for a really long time because of that. But you know what? At the end of the day, even in her struggles, it doesn't mean she didn't love her daughter. It just means she had a lot of problems. And I'm sure that exactly it was their only child. Their only child. Sad. It's just sad. Oh, gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. Just I wasn't expecting to do all that. Whew. It's hard. It's hard. So let me just get over here to this right here. We're just going to go through the timeline of what all happened, because this is really when everything started happening. Kaylee went to Moscow. This was the weekend that they were having, I think, Rush, possibly. What does that say? Hold on here. Tracy. Good morning, Tracy. That tattoo was the same as Maddie's. A bunch of her family and friends went and got the same tattoo together. Her 90-year-old grandmother got one too. Oh, that's so precious. That just reading that, it's weird because when I read that, I got goosebumps, like literally from my head to my toes. It's just weird. Like I'm rubbing my legs because I got goosebumps clearing up to my thigh. It's hard. It's hard. This whole case has been really, really hard. I have to be honest with you. It brought me. Yeah, it does. I mean, it does bring you to tears. So Saturday, November 12th, Kaylee Gonzalez, Maddie Mogan, Ethan Chapin, Xander Kernodle were students at the University of Idaho and lived nearby off-campus resident in Moscow, a college town of 25,000 people. Again, not very big, guys. Not very big. They had two other roommates. It was a 3-floor, 6-bedroom apartment. And Gonzalez posted a series of photos on her Instagram at some point with the captions, "One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day." One of the photos showed Mogan sitting on Gonzalez's shoulders with Chapin and Kernodle standing next to them. That night, Chapin, Kernodle went to a party on campus, and Mogan and Gonzalez went downtown to a downtown bar. Now, if you guys remember, on the Gonzalez page, this right here is the last text message that Christy received from her daughter. This was the last text message that Christy received from her daughter. My lovies. Best dog seat covers. They were talking about dog seat covers. They were, just getting ready to go out. They were having fun. I mean, this was the day. This was the 12th. This is what they were wearing. This is what they were in on the 12th. And this was hours before they would never smile again. Before they'll never smile again. Just absolutely horrific thought. Sunday the 13th, they ordered $10 worth of carbonara from the grub truck and waited about 10 minutes for their food. As they waited, they could be seen chatting with others, and that was the grub truck video. Let's see if we can find the grub truck video. I should have had that up, but I didn't. We'll go with this one. This is on ATM. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I think I would like to
the car, but not.
Okay.
But can I have like a free grub truck on my app?
Oh, yep. So what you want to do is we'll actually do this.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
How many more do you need? That's the second one? Awesome.
Dawn's mom. Oh, wait. Yeah, one more.
Maybe I didn't have a free one.
So there you have it. That's the grub truck right there. They went there. This was this again was a video that the Gonzalez family unearthed. Obsessed with true crime. There should not be any more commercials. I didn't know that I had changed that. So I'm looking at it. There should be no other commercials. So that should be good. But this was the work of the Gonzalez family, good, hard work of reaching out, using Kaylee's phone, reaching out to all the people that they spoke to, including the private driver, which turned them on to the Twitch video of this grub truck. So they were able to see their movements. And I also want to bring up, now granted, this was, we were all just trying to do our part and help. But think about how innocent this video is now and how our armchair detectives took this video and tore it apart with ridiculous conspiracy theories and their thoughts on this that plagued across social media because they couldn't use common sense. Nobody in this video is acting sus. Literally no one. Bryan Kohberger isn't lurking in the shadows. We know that because we have the probable cause affidavit. We know exactly where he was at this moment, and he was nowhere around them. We watched and followed them. There was times that I swear to God I heard things come just because they were saying it, you start believing it. That is the craziness on social media, is that you literally, because somebody put it in your head, now you're intensely looking at it. You will find whatever you seek, right? So if you're seeking misinformation, you're going to find misinformation. If you know you are just right about this and you keep hitting dead ends after dead ends and you keep hitting those walls and keep hitting those walls, just stick around, keep searching. You'll find something online that will match your position. That's what I hate about Google. That's why when these cases go on, that's why I have to go there. Because if you search long enough, you're going to find something that's going to appear to be in your position. Not that it's true, not that it's factual, just that you searched long and hard until you found something that would drive your narrative. I'm not about driving narratives in these cases. I want to know what happened. And if you noticed, one of the things that we didn't do is tear this entire video apart here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. There's a reason we don't do the things that other channels do. There's a reason. Tore these students apart over this video. One surviving roommate identified in court papers as DM told the investigator she heard crying in the house the morning of the killings and heard a voice say, and this is the most creepiest, I gotta say. This is the creepiest part.
It's okay. I'm going to help you.
Creepy. Absolutely creepy. She said she saw the figure clad in black, which we all know. This is the moment when we all kind of erupted. When we read this probable cause affidavit and we found out that Dylan Mortensen not only saw the assailant, she heard these weird things going on, so much so that she woke up and opened her door 3 separate occasions. And on the third occasion, she saw a figure walk out of the house right past her and out the sliding glass door to the back. That helped me determine where that man parked. He parked in the back of that house. We don't know how long he was there. Well, we kind of do from the probable cause affidavit. We kind of do. We don't really, right? We don't really, because we haven't seen any of these videos. We haven't seen him do a 3-point stop. They have never released those videos. We don't know what car they were looking at. We've never seen it. We're just taking their word for it. Now, granted, they're in court. I don't see where they're going to be lying about what kind of car he was driving. And we know that the defense has already acknowledged he was in that car, and he was in that car alone. So we have all these timelines of this case. We have all these actions and inactions that are glaring in this. So who are going to be the key witnesses, and what evidence is going to be admissible in this court hearing? What is your thoughts on this? How do you feel about this particular case, and what do you think are the weaknesses and strengths of this case? That's what I would like to know. Give me just a second. There it is. I'm going to pin. We're going to do, we usually open up the phones. We usually open up the phones and talk, but we haven't opened up our panel in a really long time. A really, really long time. So I have decided to open up the panel. And if you would like to come up here and talk about this case, what you think are the strengths and weaknesses of it, or anything else. I mean, maybe Betty's got it wrong. You know, maybe you're a free Bryan Kohberger person, right? Maybe you truly believe that Bryan Kohberger was set up by law enforcement. You truly believe that they've got this wrong. I'm interested in hearing your perspective. What do you think is wrong with it? What do you think is wrong? So how we do this, if you come up here, I always have you show your face. Now, at the bottom of StreamYard, you have controls, and you can turn off your camera. So you can mute yourself, you can turn off your camera. But when you come up here, I need your camera on. I need to be able to see your face. And once I see your face, if you don't want your face shown on the show, you can just turn off your camera, and nobody will be the wiser of who you are. So how this will work is when you come up to the backstage, I will tell you to turn your camera on. If it's off, you show me your face, and then I'll let you know if you want to turn your camera off. Now would be a great time. So if anybody has anything they have to say about the Bryan Kohberger case, please do. I'm going to continue to roll with the show, and if somebody comes up here, we'll bring them on panel, and we'll let them talk. At the very top should be the link to get into the back studio of this show. So if you guys get there, I'm going to keep going. If I see you there, I'll bring you up, and we'll talk about whatever you would like to talk about. So she saw that, and she also described Bryan Kohberger as 5'10" or taller, not muscular, but athletically built. And I have to say, when you look at Bryan Kohberger, he looks like a tall, lanky, fit guy. Athletic, but not muscular. He's not a meathead, right? He's a bookworm. Yeah, yes. I think the DNA on the sheath is strong. Strong evidence. I think the fact that defense is questioning so much shows it has to scare them, or scares. It has them scared. Yes, I agree with you, Tracy. I truly do believe that the DNA, like I said, the DNA is powerful. It's really the only thing that biologically links Bryan Kohberger to that crime scene. It is a powerful, powerful evidence. And you know, when you're talking about direct evidence versus circumstantial evidence, this is really the direct evidence that they have. This is, you know, this is not circumstantial evidence. This is legitimately biological material on a foreign object that doesn't belong in that house, that was brought into that house. And that particular item on a very specific and very difficult area to receive a transfer of DNA. It's a very difficult area for the transfer of DNA. So you got it on the button snap. And I think it is strong. However, like I said, I still believe, as strong as that tidbit of evidence is, it's still just a sprinkle on the mountain of evidence, in my opinion. Because if you look at the entire case, they were lucky that they were able to find that one microscopic little piece of DNA, touch DNA on that snap. They were lucky. They may not even have had that. So I have to look at it. Well, what happens if they didn't have the DNA? You know, and that's really what the defense is trying to do, right? They're challenging the DNA. They want to remove the DNA. They don't want them to be able to take that DNA to trial. They want to try to damage it so much so that they can't put it in the trial's transcript. They can't submit it as evidence in this trial. That's truly the strategy of the defense, is removing that DNA at all costs. They need that gone. But I think it's going to stay. I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of it. They're going to try. They're going to continue to try. They're going to continue to discredit it. I think that they're going down. They're going to really tear apart the investigative genetic genealogy testing. But here's the kicker. Even if they throw that aspect of the case out, it doesn't change the fact that they found him, that they were notified of Bryan Kohberger before the investigative genetic genealogy testing. He had a car that was matching them. They would have went down that road anyways. They would have eventually gotten his DNA. So I don't think, even with the lack of the investigative genetic genealogy, it's going to be enough to throw that DNA out. I could be wrong. There could be a law out there that, you know, something that where they can attach it to the what is it? The fruit of a poisonous tree, you know, argument. And if that's the case, you know, if that DNA went away, does their case crumble and they have no case? In my opinion, if there's no DNA, if the DNA got thrown out, they still have a really darn strong case against Bryan Kohberger. And they still have a winnable case against Bryan Kohberger without the DNA. That's just my opinion. Now, I don't know, you know, what. And not only that, but the DNA, and this is another reason why I don't think the DNA is going to be thrown out, because they do actually have direct DNA evidence. You remove that investigative genetic genealogy testing, they still have the direct DNA sampling from Bryan Kohberger to that DNA, that touch DNA on that knife sheath. But with the argument and them the defense trying to struggle with how they're going to explain his DNA on that knife sheath, I don't know how they're going to do it. This is going to be pretty creative because they have to challenge it. They're going to have to throw a plan B in there in an effort to challenge it. But how? And how are they going to explain his touch DNA being on the button snap, one of the most difficult areas, one of the most protected areas of that knife sheath? It is, right? The button snap is the most protected area. I mean, not that the top of it. Do I have a button or anything? Well, we'll just use this, like this, right? Not this stuff. It's when I take this stuff off, right? If this just popped off, my touch DNA would be under the button snap, right? My DNA would be under the button snap, pulling it off. This is a protected area. This right under here is a protected area, guys. Right? It's not something that's easily rubbed. It's not easily rubbed. Right? It's protected. Look. So here's the button snap. Boom. You got my DNA, my touch DNA. Now watch. When I put the button snap down, that spot is protected. That spot's protected. That's going to be the problem that they have. The defense is going to have challenging that DNA and trying to explain the transfer of it, because that is a protected area on that button snap. So if you have that protected area on the button snap and his DNA is there, how do you challenge it? Might be something for you guys to explain, you know, or come up with your perspective on that. Because I'm asking genuinely, because we need to know, because the defense is going to be bringing this up. If you have a legitimate perspective that would innocently explain how his DNA was on that button snap, I'd like to know. what your thoughts are, because I keep trying to, I'm just one brain. I only use one portion of my brain. You might use a different portion of your brain and might be thinking a little bit differently than I am. But I've got to say, I don't see how how that DNA would have been transferred. Oh, thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate your love and support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Oh, good morning. I am Team Summer. Good morning. Chugging water for blood work. I hate blood work. I hate blood work. I got to be honest with you. I hate blood work. Biz Potty Mouth says, I seen Kara talking about Xana. I seen how much she has for her and is so proud of both of her girls. Yeah. You guys know my story. I really, drugs are awful. Drugs, alcohol, dependency. It's really hard. And, two parents in these kids' lives, are struggling with that. And I don't know how recovering addicts and alcoholics deal with this. I know that they deal with it because I've seen them in the rooms before. I know that they get through it and they walk through this hell. But it's like, for normal people that have never had a dependency, they don't understand the escape of the dependency. And people are blaming like Kara, for going out and getting high. And it's like, it's the path of least resistance. And that's why it's so easy for people like that to go out and just, be so broken. Anything's better, right? Anything's better than feeling this. Anything's better than feeling this. So you have those issues as well. And I just want a big shout out to the parents that are struggling out there. I feel bad for Ben. I feel bad for Kara. I wish their decisions were different so they wouldn't have to feel the pain that they're feeling. Because let's be honest, I'm not feeling that pain that they're feeling. You're not feeling that pain that they're feeling. Only they can feel that. And only they know what that pain feels like for them. Because somebody else's pain, the same type of pain, might not affect a different person the same way as it affects another person. This is very personal. This is very painful. The surviving roommates and witnesses and other evidence lead investigators to believe the homicide occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25. I believe because we have him leaving the area at 4:20, about 4:18, 4:20. I think we can even cut that back to between, and we know that Xana had her food delivered around 4. So I think we could probably 4 to 4, 15, 16, 17, 18 would be more accurate than the 25 because he was already out of the area by 4:25, according to the probable cause affidavit. The 2 roommates at the home were not injured and woke up later in the morning and summoned friends to the home because they believed one of the victims had passed out and was not waking up. Now, that's not necessarily true. That's what we're being told. We were told by law enforcement, but we know darn well that there's no way when they woke up that they didn't know there was something terribly wrong. It had to have been a bloodbath inside that home. This idea that, they just couldn't, they couldn't wake up one of their friends. No. This had to have been one of the most horrific scenes that anybody probably could imagine. This is not something where you're walking by and somebody just happened to pass away in their sleep and they look peaceful and sleeping and just not waking up. That's not the image. Is that the image that any of you guys have in your brain of this house? Because if that's the image that any of you guys have of this house, I'm going to tell you, it's probably wrong. When we were on the back side of that house, there was an amber glow. An amber glow coming from Maddie's room. Now, I don't know if that was her light bulb in her lamp, but there was an amber glow. And why do I keep saying amber? Because it seems like amber is like a yellowish red, right? It's because I can't determine if blood was covering her light bulb to produce that amber glow. And I can tell you, I've looked at a lot of crime scenes, and that color I've seen before. We couldn't see in the room. You know, we had telescopic lenses out there. I mean, we had a $1,200 lens, a big. I mean, this thing was a Canon. It was a Canon that Olivia brought with her. And we tried everything we could to see as much as we could inside that house, because the windows, you know, they had the house exactly the way it was. They couldn't really touch it until their entire investigation, the crime scene investigation, was done. They can't move the shades. They can't, you know, they can, but it has to be documented before they do it. And so we were there early enough that we could get inside the windows, but you couldn't really see a whole lot. You could see the red substance dripping down the wall where Xana Kernodle's room was. We could get in there, but it was the nighttime views. It was the nighttime view of that room and the color that was coming out of it. It was not a normal light bulb color. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. It wasn't a normal light bulb color. It was something different. Now, granted, it may have nothing to do with it. It may have been something where she just stuck a scarf over the light, right? We've all done that. I've done that before, where I took a scarf and just put over the light and say it was like a sheen blue. You kind of have it like a blue hue. That's possible. I'm not in that room. I didn't see that room. I can only see what I can see with the lens, and that's it. But there was something definitely off with the color of that room, and I keep wondering. On the 14th is really when we started getting, everything started getting kicked off. This is when the news of this, a lot of the stuff stayed local in that community on the 13th. People were still just reeling with the fact that these 4 souls were gone. Christy and Steve were just being notified around 4:30 in the afternoon that their daughter was killed. They had just found out that Maddie was also killed. This was that was on the 13th by 4:30. Now we're fast forwarding to Monday. Now everybody in the state of Idaho is learning of this case. By November 15th, I learned of this case. And by the 17th, I was sitting in Moscow, Idaho. In Moscow, Idaho. Where are we at on time? We're at an hour. All right. So we're going to pick the rest of this up tomorrow about this case as we go through it. I've got a lot of stuff. Let me see if I'm missing anything else that I wanted to show. Oh, yes, I do have a video. I'm so sorry. We're not done yet, guys. We're not done yet. Oh, and we never read our language of letting go. So we'll do that after this video. One of the things that I thought was really interesting were the key witnesses. This was the video that kind of inspired this live this morning. And it was done by Law and Order. And there were a few things. I've watched this video. I'll throw the video link down here in the chat. Excuse me. Didn't mean to cough in your ears. This is, if you want to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to be picking up on just a few of the items here. So I've got it set. I've got a couple markers here that I wanted to show you about this case. And this is the first one here.
The victims in this case, and no other DNA evidence found in his apartment from any of the victims of this case. So that's going to be significant, because we know that this was a brutal massacre of these 4 young college students, and there was a lot of blood. And typically, you might find. So even he's a defense attorney, but he used to be a prosecuting attorney. So he's a well-rounded person to be getting some perspective, legal and lawful perspective from. And he's talking about the lack of DNA evidence in the car, the apartment, and the office. And it kind of dovetails back into our conversation about how much blood was in this house, because that one CNN article just acting like somebody just didn't wake up and the roommates were curious, and called law enforcement to get them help is untrue. You're listening to every expert in here talking about how brutal this attack was, how much blood would have been seen. For the love of everything holy, we have a red substance dripping down the side wall on Xana's room. If that doesn't tell you the amount of blood that must have been strung throughout that house, I don't know what will. It's very, very gruesome.
Find some trace of blood somewhere with the defendant when you have so much of it from 4 victims. I don't think it's going to be all about DNA and science. I think that's going to play a role. It's not as though you have blood smears of Kohberger, on the apartment wall and in his car or something like that. That you don't have that.
And I'll let him finish his sentence.
You do have his DNA there for some, if you're the defense, some, inexplicable reason, but you're also going to challenge, how it got there and how it led to his arrest in this case.
And that's it. How did it lead to his arrest in this case? And then I've got another one here. I think it's this one. Here we go.
Till noon the following.
Oh, let me go back.
Like myself, who's practiced both criminal defense and as a prosecutor, but things like, why didn't you call the police until noon the following, later that morning, 8 hours after there was this confrontation with, or at least the observation of someone leaving, strange noises being in there, those kind of things tend to cloud the case, and they tend to make jurors think about things that maybe the prosecution doesn't want them to, or maybe aren't really relevant.
That's the photo that they took. That was hours before that they were murdered, right there. And again, this comes back to everything we've been talking about. Everybody wants to beat Bullhorn Betty up for bringing these legitimate questions up. It's not to hurt the surviving. They made poor decisions, and they're going to be exacerbated on the trial stand, right? It's just going to get worse. And us, acting like it doesn't exist or turning a blind eye to the fact that it took 8 hours for them to call law enforcement. This is something that the defense is going to capitalize on. It's not because I want to be mean to Dylan Mortensen. It's not that I want to victim shame anybody. It's the fact that these are legitimate issues with this case that we have to address. Unfortunately, I would like not to even be covering this case, to be honest with you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if you got no, I know you didn't get a year because I just started it. Well, happy birthday. We have a Bullhorn Betty birthday here. November Rain, 15 months. We're going to go ahead and sing her because we know she's going to get another one in another 7 months, right? We know. She's going to be, in 7 more months, she's going to get a duet from Olivia and Bullhorn Betty, right? Well, happy birthday. A happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, your BHB birthday to November Rain. Happy birthday to you. We have fun. We have fun on here. We don't give a damn about anybody anymore, right? We're done. We're done. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the love and support for the Bullhorn Betty channel. And getting to the other thing that I was going to talk about is we are missing a key piece of evidence in this case. And I believe it's somewhere in the area between Moscow and Wazoo. And that's the clothing and the knife. The clothing and the knife is missing. We know that he had a weird route home. We know he eventually turned on his phone after the murders. And I think we need to plot his movements. And I think, I even talked, I was laying in bed, I was half asleep, I was going to sleep, and then all of a sudden, this pops up in my head, and I immediately call Olivia and tell her We need to go back out, and we need to bring the metal detector with us. We need to go back out, and we need to take the metal detector with us. So I truly believe that he dumped the stuff. But where did he dump it? Because we know he went to a grocery store or something else like that. He made a few stops after the murders. He wouldn't have kept it. He's a criminology, PhD criminology student. Okay. He took precautions. He took extreme precautions because he had the education and the wherewithal to this explains it. If nothing explains why there's a lack of DNA in this case, look at the suspect and his educational background. And that is, to me, at least, if nothing more, circumstantial evidence that he has the wherewithal to clean up. I don't think his education is going to help him. Actually, I think his education is hurting him because he knows how to rid DNA evidence away. We learned one of the most effective chemicals to use is peroxide, something that doesn't stain, something that you can use. It has no smell to it. And it's a very good cleaner that breaks down the blood molecules. And there's a lot of new products over the last 15 or 20 years that have been marketed to medical practices for effective cleaning because they have to have a sanitized area. All doctors' offices have to be sanitized. They have peroxide-based cleaning agents now that they use in doctor's office, specifically because they produce no odor. And that is important because there's a lot of people with allergies, and you can't be walking into your doctor's office and getting sick by walking into your doctor's office. So they use stuff that's hypoallergenic, that doesn't affect anybody, that couldn't be, and peroxide apparently is becoming and has become for at least doctors' offices and other medical, like hospitals and stuff, are using peroxide-based cleaning agents. So today is November 15th. I forgot to read the language of letting go at the beginning. So we got all the gunk out, and now we're getting to be healed. Maybe it might be something that we might want to do, switch it up, talk about the stuff, and then cleanse our soul after we're talking about the stuff. November 15th. Teach others they can too. If you guys know anything about my avocation, do you think it's easy to come up in public and on a public platform and say, hey, I'm not perfect, or hey, I had a crazy life. Hey, I had a drug problem one time. Hey, I was a broken person. Hey, I was an ugly person. I was a taker. I was a despicable person that went to jail. Do you think that's easy to sit on a public platform and totally just cut your own legs off? Does anybody have most people have problems, they want to sweep them under the rug. When I have problems, I bring them into the public. Why? Why do I want to put my personal life out there? I don't put my personal life out there, as people may claim I do. I put certain things of my personal life out there, and I do it to help others. I do it because I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that somebody can be here on this side of the screen and say, I was just like you. I am you. I know what you're going through. And I promise you, you're not alone. That's why I do it. Do I do it because I think I'm all that in a bag of potato chips? Well, if I was all that in a bag of potato chips, I wouldn't be talking about my drug problems on here. I wouldn't be talking about my personal private relationship issues on here. I would not be talking about, things that make the world go round, like politics on here. I wouldn't be bearing my soul on here if I truly did not think it would help someone else. What I do is very difficult. Everything I say, somebody will take and manipulate and change just to get a rise out of me or hurt me or just try to get money for their own pocket off the back of somebody else. Exploitation. Exploitation. Why do I do it? Because I know that you are out there. You might be sitting home alone. You might be looking at that bottle of pills or that gun laying next to your bureau. You might be thinking the world might be a little better without you there. And I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. You get yourself up. You put your boots on. You lace them up. You dust yourself off. And you keep going. That's what we do. Teaching others they can too. One good way to help others believe we can is helping others learn they can too. Some of us call this being of service. The 12-step programs, they call this carrying the message. No matter how much recovery time we have, we can share our experience, strength, and hope with others. We can tell them how we're set free, how it felt in the beginning, and how it feels now, so they can believe they can do it too. I found even in skydiving that it helps me share my experience, strength, and hope with skydivers newer to the sport than I am. When I'm telling them it's okay, that they can do it, I'm really telling myself I can do it too. Often in my everyday life, the things I'm telling others they need to do or can learn are the very things I need to be telling myself. Repetition forms belief. If we tell others, we're telling ourselves. The belief in them grows stronger. The belief in us is strengthened too. Some people say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That may be true. But sometimes when the student appears, it's because the teacher is ready to learn the lesson too. Sometimes helping others is how we help ourselves, and giving it away is often how we get to have some ourselves. God, help me be of service. Help me remember the value of serving others, that it strengthens and uplifts them and blesses and helps me too. So there you have it. Don't keep your story a secret. Sometimes we say, like me, people say, don't you regret? Aren't you ashamed? No, I used to be. I used to have a lot of regret. I used to have a lot of shame. But I'm a human being. I make mistakes and I own them. I'm comfortable in my skin. Do I waver? Of course. Do I question? Who doesn't? But what you do with your story is what you can do with your story. I'm not saying open up a YouTube channel and bare your soul to the world. But I am saying you've got gifts that can help somebody else. Use them. And keep fighting. Guys, it's been a wonderful 1 hour. We're going to be going. The reason I'm doing the 1 hour is because you guys know I've been trying to do a couple videos. I've been doing one in the morning and one in the afternoons, typically. Yesterday, I couldn't. I guess I could have. I was just too exhausted yesterday. You would have had just rambling. You would have had Bullhorn Betty just rambling. I'd have been pulling stuff just out my butt. Out my butt. So I know that I don't bring politics here. I'm probably, with the 2024 election cycles coming up, I actually might build a political channel here on YouTube. I may. I don't know. I'm still praying over it. But I think I might be bringing a political channel. Here's why. You know how proud I am of my community, how proud I am of my county commission. We work very hard to put all those people in office. And I've been working around the country. You guys know I've been working with producers. I've been doing a lot of stuff over the last year. And been working very hard over the last couple of years. And while this last, 6 to 9 months has been a little rocky, I still do, and that's just on YouTube. I still do a lot of stuff that goes well beyond the stuff I do here on YouTube. And actually, the stuff I do that's not on YouTube consumes a lot of my time as well. It does. But I work very, very, very hard. And I do it because I have a love of this country. Now, I don't prescribe that everybody believes in the stuff that I do, but this is just to tell you, you can too. If you don't like my politics, you don't like who I like, that's wonderful. I really want you guys to go out and make a difference in your own community. This is my difference.
Andrew Griffin, Manatee County activist. So my message for future agenda is do better. Do better. I prayed before I came up here. I've been praying for the last 24 hours on how I was going to address some of my major concerns with this board. And so when you guys were all sitting here on this side of the lectern, we fought for the people. We, the people of Manatee County. That's what we fought for back here. We put you guys in these places for your backbone, integrity, and thick skin to stand against the developers of this county. We know we need them to help you guys get elected. But at what point is this nonsense going to stop? We are not bought and sold in Manatee County. We're not. If you ever picked up the phone and a developer was on there and he was screaming in your ear and you changed your vote because of it, you are the swamp that you are saying that you're trying to drain.
So we do a lot more around this country than just want to be in front of a camera. When you come here, you get a fight. You don't get somebody behind a camera and behind a microphone. You get somebody that takes everything that we get here and goes out and makes a difference anywhere and everywhere. And so I'm challenging all the other people out there that are sick and tired to do the same thing. Start getting up, start getting involved. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Just get up and make a difference. Go do something. Go be a good person. Go be a steward of this country. Go do good. If we have more people out there doing good, then there's less people doing bad. That's my philosophy. That's my philosophy. People can hate me. They can beat me up. Guess what? I don't care anymore. We're going to do what we do. We're going to go out there. We're going to continue to make a difference on every type of platform we can possibly make a difference. And if people don't like it, they can kiss my ass. We do not back down. We do not stop. Victims need us, and this country needs us. God bless you. Go make it a great day. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound to cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another, even in the comment box below. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.